How's it going, everybody? This is Dominic Minchella. I am the Kansas City Chiefs co-beat writer for On SI and the host of the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast. Thank you so much for stopping in today. We are going to be discussing and moving forward with our Kansas City Chiefs talk. And I was thinking about doing a new little segment while we've got the Kansas City Chiefs in a bye week. I was thinking we'd do a performance review for the first half of the season, starting with no one other than the man, the leader of this team, the face, arguably could have been the face of the National Football League for a few years, and maybe even still to this day, quarterback Patrick Mahomes. Now, with these performance reviews, I know that they're all going to be different because each player is different. When we're talking about them, though, we're going to dive into kind of where they stand in the National Football League, like where they rank. We're also going to be talking about whether or not they are helping the team towards success or they're holding the team back a tad. And obviously, we're also going to be talking about how well that they have performed individually. So without further ado, let's get underway with the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Now, Patrick Mahomes has been having a very strong season, ladies and gentlemen. If anyone was curious if Patrick Mahomes had anything left in the tank or if anything was going to slow him down compared to how it was last season for him, in my opinion, and really when looking at his numbers, it was truly his worst season in terms of passing yards and the amount of times that he got sacked. But this guy is still legit. He is still a top 5 quarterback when on a good day. On a bad day, he's still top 10. I wouldn't say that he is the elite quarterback that he used to be, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he does not have it in him anymore. I would say that he has had to shift with the way that he plays based on the assets that he has. So far this season, he has 2,349 passing yards, which ranks him as the third top quarterback in that statistical area. He also has 17 touchdowns thrown, which ties him for third. He has 5 interceptions thrown, which is kind of an area where he needs to improve on. However, in the last few games, he had been doing really well with keeping the football protected. Against the Washington Commanders, he threw 2 interceptions, and against the Buffalo Bills, he threw 1. And that's really what added to that area for him. I still think that he's been able to hold on to the football very well, and he's just been doing everything that he can, physically, mentally, on and off the field to help this Kansas City Chiefs team claw back in the AFC West division, which they sit in third, by the way, 5-4 through 9 weeks. An area where Kansas City, though, if you looked at the way that they started off this season, it's impressive that they are even above 500 for the first, or really claw their way in. There's a lot of inconsistencies, but a consistency has been Patrick Mahomes. He also has a 74.4 QBR. And, while he might not be might not be doing terrific when it comes to passer rating, he currently has a 57.2 as a guy who has had a career 98.2 passer rating. He's been doing all that he can, he has that this season. I apologize. This season, he has a 98.2 passer rating. I mean, all in all, ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Mahomes, he is still the real deal. And on top of that, with him having his assets in Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce, the 2 main receiving options for him, you can throw in Xavier Worthy if you'd like, as well as Hollywood Brown, especially in the first part of the season. He has been an asset to the Kansas City Chiefs ground game. While we've talked about the running back room several times on the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast since we've started this podcast, Patrick Mahomes went into this season having shown that he is a capable quarterback when it comes to rushing. So far this season, in 9 games and 47 carries, he has 285 rushing yards, and for a long time before that, led the Chiefs in the running back room in terms of yards on the ground. He has also scored 4 touchdowns that way. He has 20 first downs, no fumbles, no losses of possession. His longest is 33. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, his career high in rushing yards is 389 yards, and he's almost 100 shy of that through halfway of the season. If the Chiefs running back room continues to have some struggles, with Isaiah Pacheco dealing with a injury, as well as Kareem Hunt being a tad banged up, which I do think that the bye week will aid them in both. He's a guy that you can lean on in the run game, but I don't think you should. Patrick Mahomes is such a key asset to this team, and he's shown, whether it be this year or throughout his career, that when he's on, the whole rest of the team is on. And I don't want to ever point fingers, since this is a team game, of saying this guy's to blame or this guy's to blame or to give flowers to. But Patrick Mahomes deserves the flowers that he's gotten this season. He's still been a very successful quarterback, and whether it be in the passing game or the rushing game, he has been really everything that head coach Andy Reid could ask for once again. This has been a pickup for Kansas City that I don't even think that when they knew that they drafted him, that he was going to turn into this superstar that he is. Consistency inside and out. A 2-time MVP. He could depending on how this season goes, if the Kansas City Chiefs do find a way to win their 10th straight AFC West Division title, while it will be difficult, if they do find a way, Patrick Mahomes will easily be in the consideration for MVP, because Lamar Jackson has been out this season. And while you're contesting with Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes is trying to get this Chiefs franchise into a position of winning. So long as they make the playoffs, you know how Patrick Mahomes plays when it comes down to it. But all in all, folks, that is the review of Patrick Mahomes. If I had to give him a grade on the so far this season, I'll give him a B+, because I think that there's still room to grow. And there's some areas that are kind of holding him back, not talking about him individually and the things that he can't or cannot do, but he is helping this team win. He's a sole reason why this team is still holding on to a winning record. But that being said, though, ladies and gentlemen, be sure you follow me over on X at Dom Minchella, spelled DOMMINCHELLA, exactly how it sounds. You can follow me over there because I post and repost every single day, all things Kansas City Chiefs. You're not going to want to miss another episode of the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast. You can also follow us over at KC Chiefs on SI over on X and on Facebook. Every single story gets posted there. You're not going to want to miss any coverage of the Kansas City Chiefs while we navigate through this bye week together. As always, folks, remember, be kind to one another. I'll see you tomorrow.